Hello, my name is Hersh and welcome to the HERshyt Show. Well, a little bit about it. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you'll probably cuss at me, but that's alright. I just want to bring to you the realization of what's really going on in this world that a lot of people are afraid to speak on. Enjoy.
Yeah, my DNA is 91% Great Britain. 91%.
So you got shot with a little mini cannon back in
Something, Lord of mercy. No, but it came out. There's a lot to that.
Yeah, DNA is a big thing. But yeah, so this week we're gonna actually, as you see, she's holding the 1998 Braves bat. Hopefully, she'll knock me over the head with it. But we're gonna talk about some bullying. I know we briefly discussed this before, but I think we needed to go more in depth with it.
Okay.
When it comes down to the bullying side and parents not making it any better in some cases. And that's
and
what
the filming, like in the gyms, I've noticed there's a lot more like just normal people working out, and the people are filming them, making fun. And these people don't even know they're being filmed.
That to get likes on.
Now that shit makes me ill. Like these people are coming to the gym. I don't care if you're 800 pounds.
Yeah.
I will salute you. I will stand by you. I applaud that.
Yeah.
But these people trying, man. And I've had
I don't even have enough confidence to go to the gym like that. You know what I mean?
I'm like, there was one time I remember, I used to be a gym nut. She came to the gym. She was a larger woman.
Yeah. And
it was during the day, so it wasn't too crowded, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, she got on the treadmill for a little bit, you know, and I didn't talk to her, but I kept my eye on her. You know? I was just like, you know, just being mindful. Like she needed some help, I was gonna be there.
Yeah.
And she got on this one piece of equipment. Bless her heart. It was the ab machine where you kind of bend down with the weights, you know.
Yeah.
Well, she ended up tipping the whole machine.
It's
over.
like sitting up crunch type.
Yeah, but
thing.
she ended up tipping the whole machine over. The machine fell over and her. And it was loud, and I felt I was mortified. Not for myself, for her. You know, I was like, oh my God.
One, is she okay?
Yeah, I went over and I'm like, good, and she was more embarrassed than anything. And I said, so here I go, telling about my embarrassing stories. I'm like, girl, it's okay. I'm like, I told her about what I'd done and made a fool out of myself, and I was trying to make her feel better. You know, I'm like, yeah, I said it happens.
She's trying.
So we got her up, done whatever, and I was trying not to discourage her from ever coming back. I was like, please, you know, I didn't say anything, but I was like, I told her about my embarrassing stories, you know, and I was like,
making her feel
I was like, it happens, you know.
Yeah.
So me and her went and got on the treadmills at the front. I got one right beside her, and we walked on the treadmill and just kind of let that scene go away, you know.
Yeah.
And then I think she was fine after that. She still came back, but it was just that point. Like somebody could have filmed that and made her feel.
Especially back then.
Oh.
Like, well, no, nowadays. But there is one big gym buff guy that actually outs people, like, bro, you got to stop this
Joey Swole or something, or something like that.
Joe Swole.
Yeah, these people
he's amazing. He calls people out on it. You know what I mean? Like you're insta famous over somebody else's situation is just
come back and bite you. I promise you that.
Yeah,
one way or another.
Because none of us are perfect.
No.
And embarrassing things happen.
Most of these fools are on steroids. I don't care what you say.
Or taking something.
Or some kind of supplement. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
I did hear steroids shrink your dick. That might be their problem.
Yeah. What makes you stop producing testosterone, I think.
Yeah. But there's no excuse.
No.
To be laughing at somebody else. That bullying stuff, it doesn't just happen in school.
No, it's become like a very common life.
When we was growing up, we had bullies.
Oh, I did. Absolutely.
We had bullies in school, but they picked and chose who they was going to try to bully.
And then once they realized, like, no, you ain't going to do that. Mm-mm.
Yeah, exactly. You ain't going.
I'm not the one.
Yeah. And I tell people all the time, you might whoop my ass, but you was going to remember me. That one way or the other. I wasn't going to let you bully me or the next person, or especially somebody I care for.
Yeah, people just try. They'll just see. These people know what they're doing.
They look for the loners. I've noticed that. Like, we've always had a village. We had cousins, brothers, sisters. So nobody really ever messed with us. Because, you know, one of them, even if I don't get you, one of my cousins, somebody gonna jump on you. But they know who to pick. They know who to find. Okay, they know. They don't got no friends. They always by themselves.
But the bully is generally the one that's either getting abused at home or is too spoiled for their own freaking good, but they don't have that parental support or that guardian support.
There's usually it's a reflection.
So they're jealous. I can't really say jealous, but it is kind of it's something with somebody else having a better life that makes them want to.
I remember in
target the person who has the better life.
3rd or 4th grade, we had a tornado drill. Remember, we had to go out in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do that now if I had to. I couldn't lay that long. I mean, I'm just telling you, my bones about because it's the whole side.
I don't even think they teach that anymore.
I don't know.
They just cancel school.
Like they come out there, you had to have a book over your head and bent down.
I think they just sit with their back against the wall. With their knees crossed. We was all like.
I can't do it. There's no way.
Oh my God! I used to go to sleep.
Really?
So I can't sit like that anymore. There's no way because my body.
It's a yoga position. It really.
So
is.
anyway, I had on these shoes. I always had nice shoes, and I had on.
I had Dunlaps. I had raggedy shoes.
They were,
but they were shoes.
Bo Jackson's. They were Bo Jackson shoes, I think. I'd love to have them now. They were like orange. They were awesome.
Oh yeah, we talked about.
They were
that,
badass. Yeah. Anyway, I think those are the ones I had at the time. Well, it might have been pumps. I don't know, but I had a nice pair of shoes, and I was sitting there and this guy come up and he stepped on my shoes, and I was like, and I know I'm but I'm not going to. But anyway, he's still around. Anyway, he stepped on my shoes. I ain't forgot it.
Why did he step on your shoes?
I ain't forgot that.
Why did he step on your shoes? What was his purpose?
He was jealous.
Because you had on brand new shoes.
Because I had on, like, awesome shoes and he didn't. Because he was like, he come over and was like just mad. He was like, he stepped, like, my shoes were white and he stepped on them like right.
He's one of those type of people that compared himself to other people.
Yeah. And,
not every family had it like that. We didn't have it like that growing up.
I was very fortunate. I didn't rub it in nobody's face. It wasn't for nobody else. It was just like, and I was proud of my shoes. And it was like.
But did you see, like, when they started, the purpose of them starting uniforms in school was because the kids that didn't have a lot of money at home or whatever.
I'm not really opposed to it.
Listen, uniforms are more expensive than a pack of white tees.
I'm just like, it would make everybody.
No. They still found ways. My son grew up in nothing but uniform schools.
So they still
found a way. They still had on J's. They still had on the nice ass belt because you had to wear a belt.
Oh,
they still had their hair done, their earrings in, like you were just in a uniform.
Mm-hmm.
And then the uniforms, you knew who bought the cheap uniforms because they faded in a week and a half. I know because my son's shit faded in a week and a half. It was the cheap shit. You know what I mean? But so, of course, these uniform companies saw a profit in it. And then we used to have to spend about $500 just for a week's worth of uniforms because they had to have a belt or they got gigged. They had to have some type of lanyard or something for their thing. They had to wear it a certain way. But you could still rock your J's and everything else. So I did not understand
I've always
that
I've always loved shoes. I mean, it's like
yeah.
And I had some Jordans. Man, I wish I had them back. Man, those shoes I had, I was like, man, I would love to wear.
Jackson?
Huh?
The Bo Jackson?
I had Bo Jacksons. I had Jordans. If I had them Jordans, I'd be worth a ton of money.
Yeah, they would.
And then I had the pumps. And then, I just always loved shoes.
Yeah. And you were a basketball player, too.
Yeah, and I just always.
She was a legit basketball player, not a play.
Like sports, I used to be a huge sports fanatic,
mm-hmm.
And so I had the Bo Jackson shoes. I had the Michael Jordan shoes. I had the Reebok pumps, and I just had a bunch of them, but nobody really said anything. But that one time I was in the hall and that dude, I'm not going to say your name, but he just literally come up to me and just stepped on my shoe and then looked at me and he said something, but it's because he didn't have them.
Jealousy is a real thing.
Yeah, and I was like, that always stuck with me. And I'm like, dude.
Quick fight back in the day.
You step on my shoes.
No, I used to be like OCD. Like
even if my shit was from Kmart and called Dunlap, you was not gonna step on my shoes.
Exactly. Be proud of whatever you got.
It was disrespect. It was like
it's equivalent to spitting in somebody's face.
Oh, and I was like real big, like OCD. Like my shoes were white. Like I'd take them off when I got home and I'd scrub them. I was very proud of my shoes. And yeah.
But kids are getting bullied, like the nerdy. Like now, it's cool to be the nerdy kid. You know what I'm saying? But I did notice when my nephew came to stay with me, and he started the new school or whatever. because of where he came from, they made him redo 8th grade before he could go to high school. But he was literally coming to the States to go to high school. But because of the curriculum, he had to redo 8th grade and then go to high school. But with him being the new kid, he was from the island, pretty boy, got the accent, you know what I mean? A lot of the kids, a lot of the little boys, of course, were like, who the fuck is this dude? You know, because the little girls was like, oh my God, new guy.
Yeah.
Pretty boy, you know, island boy, whatever, right? So I let him know. I said,
island boy.
No, yeah, not
island
boy. No, trust me, Michael is not like those fake island boys. They need to be bullied, them two little boys. But anyway, so I'm just playing. Don't bully nobody.
You gonna smack with that thing?
I am.
You all over the place with it. Just talking with it. I'm like,
my bad.
I'm like, woo! I'm about to get smacked.
But so he came, and then he came and told me that the teachers or the principal was like, if you fight back, like say, because like 8 little boys was gonna jump him, and he came home and told me about it. So I go up to the school and
was like, if he fought back, what?
That he would be in trouble as well. I said, baby, listen, I understand at one point we was taught no violence. Just let people do what they do. No, not in my house. I teach if they jump you grab the biggest one out the crowd and whoop his ass. Period. But now the schools have a 0 tolerance for violence or whatever, which is, I get it.
I understand it, but when you're in the moment.
But if there's 8 boys jumping on one, I'm going to protect myself. Exactly. You're going to protect yourself. And like I told my nephew, baby, if they put their hands on you, handle business. We'll deal with whatever repercussions comes behind it. But we have to also teach our kids about bullying. You know what I mean? Like we have a 0 tolerance as well. But a lot of these parents are bullying, and they wonder where their kids get it from.
Mm-hmm. It's a learned action, absolutely.
They'll be absent-minded about it. Where did you learn that from? Well, you over there talking about all your cousins and aunties and fake friends that you claim are friends, but you're gossiping and doing whatever, and then you wonder why your daughter going to school doing the same thing to her little crew. Mm-hmm. We got to do better than that.
I agree.
As parents. And none of us are perfect. We're going to judge people. We're going to clown. We're going to
laugh. We're humans. I mean.
But to literally put another kid in, put their head in the toilet, or dump them in the trash can, or lock them in a locker, or, you know, the wedgies. You remember the wedgie, the pull in the draw, the wedgie thing in the gym room or whatever. All that's got to stop. All that's got to stop. And kids that do get picked on, sweetheart, you could take up for yourself, but you don't have to bring a gun to school.
Yeah.
You don't have to bring a knife to school. You don't have to do none of that. Knuck if you buck, baby. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing that we need to start teaching. Too many kids are taking guns to school.
Yep.
And they're getting them from mommy and daddy.
Yeah, like it's freely open.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I don't know how she or he got my gun. Where was it at? Well, I put it at the top of my closet. I have seen 3-year-olds climb like they're in a jungle vine to get some cookies off the top shelf.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if I wanted something, I'm going to get it. It didn't matter how high it was, how low it was, where it was.
Exactly.
I'd find a way to get it.
Exactly. Kids are going to find ways. And if they're that pissed off and they know that mommy or daddy or both have a gun or big brother or uncle or whatever guardian is around, they're going to grab that weapon and they're going to think that that is how you handle business. Mm-hmm. Because our generation is teaching the younger generation, knowingly or unknowingly, that it's okay to carry a gun for that purpose. Oh, it's for protection. So if you're teaching your child by saying that all the time, I got a gun for my protection, it's my Second Amendment right.
Yeah, but kids don't understand what the protection is. You know, like
facts.
It's not, the brain's not
all they know is they're getting picked on.
And that's protection.
And they need protection, so they're grabbing your gun and they're taking it to school just like that 6-year-old that shot that teacher.
That's some wild stuff out there.
You know if your child is bad as hell or not. You know if your child needs some therapy. Right?
Most of them don't, because they need therapy themselves.
Y'all need to go to some family care. Like,
and they lacking parents up now.
They need to.
They lacking parents up now. If they get your gun and they can prove you had the gun, you bought the gun, going to jail.
Ain't that what happened with bitch ass Rittenhauser or House, whatever his little, I don't even know his name. Written something. Yeah. His parents got locked up, didn't they?
Yeah, go to time.
They looked at them. If I'm not mistaken. I think they looked at the parents because they're the ones that brought them across straight line for that, what you call it?
Yeah, they are looking at parents now. Which will make them more mindful. Like, hey, okay.
But what has it got to do with me? For one, it's your gun. Mm-hmm. It's your gun. Yes, accidents do happen, but sweetheart, every time you turn on the news.
I mean, get a gun safe. Get a little safe. Put it in there, lock with the code.
Or separate. Why do you have one locked in the chamber?
Yeah, I always keep
keep your magazines separate from
like I'll hide one in one spot and another, and that's one I want to keep out. But the rest of them I got locked up.
And why do your But see, even when we was growing up, we had rifles.
I mean, I was raised up with guns. I was raised up all around me.
But we knew not to touch them things. We knew for a fact when you walked into, even my son, when he went to his granddad's house growing up, he knew them weapons, them rifles were for hunting. Period. Mm-hmm. You don't touch them. You don't do nothing. Like he learned that. All of the kids learned that.
Yeah, it never crossed my mind.
But a lot of parents these days, they're buying guns because they think they're cool, and some are literally buying weapons because of where they live or they do feel like they need the protection. But if you don't have that conversation with your child at an early age, the difference of types of protection and purpose of protection, in their mind, I'm getting bullied. I feel scared. I know where a gun is at.
Yep. Mind you, these kids, their brain's not fully developed at all. You know, and they don't know, they don't fully understand.
Yeah.
So.
And you have adults bullying other adults too.
No, that shit really does stuff. Yeah. I mean, there's no excuse.
Guns down, fist up. Like, I really don't get it. Guns down, fist up. We were raised in a generation where you knuck if you buck. You want to fight? I bet. I'm going to meet you at a certain time after school or even at school. We ain't give a shit. You know what I mean? But after school, I'm going to meet you at a certain location. Nobody's calling the police. We're going to get it out of our system. And the next day, either we cool or we not. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. Either I'm going to get laughed at because you beat me up, or you're going to get laughed at because I beat you up. And that was it. You went on about your day. You got it out of your system.
You know, and violence isn't always that. You know, that's not always the.
It's not.
You know, there's ways when you become an adult. It's sort of like you mature, you get older, and you start to realize this shit's not even worth it.
It's not even about maturation. I'm just not gonna waste my energy.
Exactly. When it comes down to, you get to a point like I'm like, it's not even worth me getting fired up over. You know, I'm autoimmune, so like when I get stressed, it's just like. It sends me down a whirlwind. It messes me up. So I'm just like, then I have to pick and choose.
Pick and choose your battles.
You know, I have to pick and choose my battles and realize, you know, it's not worth it.
It's not. Just let people think what they think. But these children, we have to do better by teaching our children it's okay to be different. It's okay for others to be different. It's okay for, what is that?
As well.
What was that? The word, what is it?
What?
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me or harm me or whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that. Words do hurt.
Absolutely.
Emotionally, they do hurt.
Words become things.
And psychological abuse is way worse than physical abuse because you're battling something that is unseen. And that when you start to the words never hurt me part, and if you try to engrave that you're telling stories to yourself and to your child. You're allowing
yourself to be, that's a narcissist's favorite playground.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
and most bullies are bullying because they get bullied at home. Yeah. That's something that we have to try to understand what the bully is doing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But you have, social media bullies.
Oh yeah, that's always.
Sweetheart,
I don't even respond. I'm like, okay.
If somebody
but
is,
they want a reaction, and I'm like, I'm not feeding into it. I don't care.
Adults and children alike. But do not think that you have to kill yourself over what somebody's saying on social media. Sweetheart, if they try to post a picture or whatever of you in your little training bra, or dating the little football player, or pretending like they set you up, because there are still mean girls that do stuff like that, and try to have a reason to pick on you, or whatever. Don't turn into Carrie with the pig blood and all of that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even worth it. And don't feel like you have to hurt yourself, because you are special. You are here for a reason, and you are loved. Fuck them mean girls. And I mean that wholeheartedly. If somebody tries to bully you or be mean to you or whatever, just look at them and be like, so who hurt you?
That's exactly what it is.
Because then they're like, what?
It's that self-reflection.
Yeah.
So let's.
Where
Where's this coming from?
Nobody hurt me. What do you mean? You're just fat. You're just ugly. Okay, but who hurt you? Just keep asking them that. And either they're going to put their hands on you or they're going to walk away. I let people know real quick, put your hands on me then. Because soon as you put your hands on somebody, you are welcoming that individual to protect themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it don't have to turn into a death-defying match like you're in Spartan 3000. You know what I'm saying? This is Sparta! Kick the shit out of you. You ain't got to do all of that. But you are able to protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And do not ever allow somebody to make you feel worthless. That is adults and children alike.
Yeah, I see a lot in adults, yeah.
And most adults that are being bullied or feel that way or in their depressive state, at one point or another, shockingly, they may have been the bully. And now karma has turned around and shown you what it feels like to be bullied, because now you ain't got a pot to piss in. Mm-hmm. You're having to borrow from people or sleep on somebody's couch or something. But as a kid, when somebody else was taking care of you, you had the better shoes. You had the mean girl ability or mean boy ability, because that was the lifestyle you grew up in. But now that you're adults and you ain't got shit. You know what I mean? So that's karma.
Mm-hmm. That's energy. It always be mindful what you think. Be mindful what you say. Some people call it karma, some energy. It always has a way of teaching you a lesson.
Yeah, and even like we was talking about with Mario earlier with the segregation days when the integration was happening, it was parents. You could even see the pictures. It was the parents spitting in them children's face. Like, some of those parents are still alive today, and they're teaching their grandbabies to be the same way. But you want to turn around and try to teach love and unity when it comes down to just white folks and their family. It's all about family. It's all about great. But when it came down to desegregation, when it initially started happening, it was my child's not going to school with that child or whatever. And the parents were the one doing it.
Mm-hmm.
The kids only wanted to play. The kids didn't give a shit.
That's taught, totally.
Hate is definitely taught.
Mm-hmm.
But then you turn into family members having to feel like they had to protect other students in school, when we were just talking about that. Where there was a lot of the older kids, they protected the minorities every single day during that initial stage. And then they end up getting kicked out of school because they become the bully, or because, tagged as the bad kid, because they literally had to fight the white kids to stay away from the black kids. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately.
And those are now grandparents to this day. Desegregation wasn't that long ago.
No.
It wasn't. And these are the same grandparents that are teaching their grandbabies. Like, their parents may have became more cognizant or more understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have to be that way. I didn't have to do that. I didn't give a shit about, who I was going to school with. you know, but then the grandbabies come along and the grandparents are spewing that hate. And then their grandbabies are coming home gay or dating outside of their race. And the grandparents are like, oh my God, I freaking hate you. You can't, you're a shame to the family or whatever. Like, man, that whole generation just need to.
Yeah, like dating outside of your, you know,
your race, your gender, your age.
Like growing up, my parents didn't care, but there were some, it was just like,
oh
my God, you know, and KKK in Paulding County.
Oh my God, KKK was still a real thing.
I think it still is, but anyway.
They're more hidden under a rock these days.
Oh, it's very, very hidden. But
they just changed from sheets to uniforms.
No, it was like I don't want to call him a friend, but and then
an
next time I
associate?
seen him, yeah.
Yeah.
And next time I seen him, he had on like this shirt and he had like the KKK thing right here, like a logo. And I went, whoa. I said, what is that? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I just wanted to hear. Oh, we don't hate. We're not against anybody. We're trying, no, he's trying to talk about like we love. And I went,
you love what?
I said, you full of shit.
You love what?
And it was like they were trying to flip the whole narrative. Like, no, we're about love.
Christian.
And I'm just going,
yeah. Protestant Christianity.
Yeah. And this was like,
but I'm going to burn a cross.
Years ago.
Look, I'm religious, but I'm going to burn a cross in your front yard. Like, bruh, this is the most stupidest shit.
Well, even in
it's stupid.
I guess I can say it like in Buchanan. I call it Buchanan. But that
Buchanan. Where the hell is that? Are you talking about between Yorkville?
Buchanan Highway, but go past where the store. Like you go on.
Okay, yeah, that's where the Oasis was at, wasn't it?
There's still a store. I don't know if it's a store, but he has like a thing. He puts racial stuff out there.
It was on social media.
It used to have like that doll hanging, and I mean, and it's still there. Like,
yeah.
It says Black Cows Matter or something like that instead of Black Lives. Yeah, it's like so bad. It says it on the thing.
So it's on Buchanan Highway?
Yeah. Going to you pass where the store, like you go on down.
I've never seen it. I'm gonna have to go find it.
Oh yeah.
You said it's going towards Temple?
Yeah, you know, like you go to Rose's store.
I remember it going on viral, but I never knew where the store was at.
Yeah. There used to be I think a dog grooming shop, but it burnt down or something. But now it's like, I don't think it's open. But anyway, he's still got that thing out there and he puts stuff on there. But now it says like, instead of Black Lives, he puts Black Cow Matter.
So stupid, ignorant stuff.
Oh,
he's trying to rile up the community.
Oh, he's always been out there. I don't even know who he is, but yeah.
But the thing about it is, like, people are afraid
you're
of
saying that way out in the middle of nowhere. Won't you come closer to town and say it? You know,
please.
Like,
yes, please.
I don't drive it. I'm like, dude, stop.
Bullying is just stupid, period. Like, what do you get out of bullying? What is the satisfaction?
Like that one, I mean, he's getting like,
he wants
to be action. He likes the chaos. That's what they thrive off of. All I see is ignorance.
He probably got his pinky toe in the grave and he's got one last battle in him. I don't know.
I didn't know if you knew about
he
that
old?
or not. We'll have to ride by there. Yeah. I don't know. I think he's...
We will ride by there and put it on social media.
It might be...
if it's still there.
I ride by that way all the time. Yeah. So...
We need pictures.
I'll take pictures next time, but I ride by there all the time.
Yeah.
So the last time, it did say Black Cows Matter or something like that.
We will put you on blast. We don't deal with
You could tell what he was saying, but I'm like, dude, that's so...
We dislike racism. Fuck racism. Fuck homophobia. Fuck pedophilia. Any of that. Any ignorance. Like downright just wanting to start chaos over
that's all it is.
Chaos. Your own internal battle that you got going on.
I would love for you to have a talk with him.
I would love to have a talk with him.
I would love to find out and be like, not me, her. No, because I would just be like, you're dumbass. But like,
because I'm curious.
I know you want to know, like, well, why? Okay, if you were dying, would you accept the black man's help? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like,
and if he says no, well, guess what? You're just gonna die. Because
that's just ignorant.
That to me is stupid. Is all stupid. The bullying period. You got it.
It's called the Georgia Peach Museum and Restaurant, and the owner is the Atlanta Journal-Constitution interviewed him. He said his signs are free speech, not racism.
I mean, they are free speech, but guess what, buddy? There's still racism.
That's what he's hiding behind.
Now, if
so, it's called what? Like now, it's called that.
Georgia Peach Museum. I also seen the Oyster Bar, but the Georgia Peach Museum and Restaurant is what.
That's the one on Buchanan Highway.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
It's like way out in the middle.
It's like a little bar, probably a little hole in the wall type bar.
Yeah.
It's a small. I don't ever see it open or anybody there, but yeah.
I actually had somebody say, well, them people are starting to move closer to the mountains. I said, who the fuck is them people? Explain to me what that even means. And I have heard.
Who are they talking about?
I don't know. I can guess. You know what I mean? Yes. Yeah. So the mountain folks.
Well, I'm a mountain. My ancestors are mountain from Appalachia, and I'm like, what does that mean?
I have no idea.
And the holler is like where you got two mountains that come down and meet.
Yeah.
That's where most of them live.
But even like in West Virginia, when my mom was growing up, she lived on the mountains.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? If you didn't know anybody, it was literally like a sundown town.
Yep.
But it was a sundown town for anybody that didn't know or related to anybody on top of that mountain. It wasn't your
race. It was just like a protection.
Oh no, it was still about race too. It was mixed in all of the between. You know what I mean? It was still a sundown town, but in that part of West Virginia, there wasn't a lot of minorities. You know what I mean? So if you didn't know anybody on that mountain, if you weren't related or whatever, you better be off the top of that mountain. And so, of course, now in the 21st century, everything is expanding. Houses are popping up everywhere in 2.3 days. You know what I mean?
So them people are moving close to the mountains.
Man, listen, I promise you, let me hear somebody say something like that. I can't do it.
It's mostly curiosity. I want to be like, okay, like you said, I want to dissect. Okay, so
who is those people?
Who are those people who are make it make sense?
Make it make sense. And the bullying part, that's like even with the police officers. The police officers that are still doing things. And just recently the standard was set. In Tennessee, in Memphis, them police officers were literally snatched up, fired, and incarcerated like within a week. Yep. Memphis set the standard, and they said, Mario,
there
check this.
No paid leave, no bullshit.
The Memphis chief that's up there, she used to run the Red Dogs in Atlanta. You know she ain't playing no games. No. Anybody that knows about the Red Dogs in it, like 1 to the 2 to 3 to 4, them dirty Red Dogs done hit the. If you know about the Red Dogs in Atlanta, them motherfuckers did not play.
Doesn't play. A lot of times they dress like us, look like us. You don't know until they kick your door in.
I told her when I was in Techwood, me sitting out in front of Techwood. This was in 1995, right? With December 95. I had never ran into the Red Dogs before. My little pale ass sitting right in front of Techwood. I promise you, like 12 motherfuckers jumped out of a little clown car.
Clown car.
And it was the Red Dogs. That was my first interaction with the Red Dogs. I was high. I was smoked out. We had the windows like we was.
Well, her father just passed away.
My father had just passed.
Going through
There's no excuse. I was high, period. But my father had just passed away like the night before. So we went out there and got boxed. We got hot boxed. Like, it didn't matter. And this little broken down, the little Hyundai that had a loose rod in the motor, so we called it Ticker. I'm not going to say. You can hear us coming down the road. But all I know is they jumped out and they were just like, put your ass walking still. I went into the countryest white girl you have ever seen in your life. Well, we just came here to visit my friend's auntie upstairs. What? Like, straight flipped it on them.
You're like, I'm them people from the mountain.
Listen, I had to act real special, and I was high. And it wasn't none of that Zaza or whatever y'all got going on. This was just some Reggie back then, but that got us high because our bodies were built different. I don't know what the fuck y'all got going on these days. But the Red Dogs don't play. Anybody that know about the Red Dogs, they did not play. So was that unit that killed that young man, that beat the brakes off of that young man for no damn reason, they were something like the Red Dogs. It was a special unit. It was a special drug task force.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So those officers, but they set the standard. The bully was zero tolerance. Literally. And the only reason they got arrested and hemmed up that fast is because they were black men that did it. I'ma say it. In a week, all of them got arrested. Then they just recently locked up the white boy. Like yesterday. Something like, you see that, Mario? There was a sixth person that just got arrested.
That was involved in the same thing?
Yeah.
But
after everybody else got locked up and hemmed up. Oh, the fraternity done ousted 3 of them. That was a part of a certain fraternity. Like a lot of stuff is happening, and it's the zero tolerance for the bullying. But why doesn't that same thing happen to other police officers that need to be held accountable? Memphis, Tennessee unit chief just set the standard. Period.
Yeah, should have at least.
She set the standard in a week. It wasn't no go home, still get paid. Yep. And after we investigated, no, she was like, listen here. You fucked up. You go to jail. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. I respect the hell out of her for that.
Mad respect.
She set the standard, America. She set the standard, other police chiefs, because every state, there are certain policies, right? Mm-hmm. But as a police chief or as a jurisdiction, you can add to the regulations. You cannot take away. Meaning, you can do the anti-bullying or the anti-whatever. You can add to those policies. But Memphis, thank you for setting the standard.
I found the sixth person. He wasn't there he was there at the initial traffic stop. And you can hear him on the camera saying, I hope they stomp his ass. Ooh. And that's what got him.
But it took you after you locked up the 5 black men to go to get the white boy.
Yep. They heard his voice saying, I hope they stomp his ass. And that's what I heard somebody else say that. They were saying there's no part of police training that tells you to use your boot or your foot on somebody's face.
No, it don't.
So he said anytime you see that, you should know automatically that's brutality. And we see it all the time, though. Police stomping people, kicking people.
Yeah, that's like
that's not part of their training. A police officer, an ex-police officer finally came out and disclosed that. So now, if you see that in the video, that should be an automatic termination.
Yeah.
Because you're not trained.
Let me sit you at home until we do IA.
You're not trained to put your foot on nobody or kick them or stomp them.
You as a public servant are held to a higher standard, period. And it's not individual police officers. It is the reason why we're grouping everybody together because it's an organization. It's an institution, period. And bullying is bullying, regardless of your profession, regardless of your location, regardless of your age. Bullying is pure bullying. And when you put on that uniform as a firefighter, as a police officer, as a doctor, as a nurse, I don't give a shit if you work at Arby's or McDonald's, you do not have the right to bully somebody else. And you damn sure don't have the right to beat somebody to death. Like you're a part of the mafia or the mob.
It's unreal.
And then we wonder why our children are still doing the same type of stuff. Because we're not stepping in and stopping. We're not stepping in and stopping the adults and holding people accountable. You're not holding your children accountable. So, yeah. Legislation is changing. And Memphis just set the standard. Period. She did. And for her to, I don't know how true it is, but rumor has it, she used to run the Red Dogs in Atlanta. So you know she ain't coming and playing no games. I don't know how true it is, but we're going to find out. Research it. But even if she didn't run the Red Dogs, we just know about the Red Dogs. They did not play no games at all. At all. And they was doing some dirty shit back then. They was beating up people and doing stuff too with the Red Dogs. When did the Red Dogs get shut down?
Sure. They were terrorizing people.
Yeah, they was.
But they started doing a lot of dirt too. That's what really
corruption.
Because I got cousins that would tell me they would take all their money, take them to jail for one night, then put them back on the street, and just repeat that cycle. Like they was making money off of them at some point. Crazy.
There's a lot of corruption still going on too. A lot of corruption. I remember the Red Dog. I remember it just went away like quickly. It was he?
They call it a hyper-aggressive street crime unit named the Red Dog. She was there for 18 months.
She was there.
Yep.
Hyper-aggressive Red Dogs.
She ran the unit. They had to disband because of public backlash and a series of lawsuits.
There was a series of because they was doing some dirty shit. I'm telling them jump out boys. I'm telling them jokers. They did not play no games, but you wasn't stopping no drugs at the same time. Because crack and cocaine was still a real big thing back then. You was getting more weed than anything. I don't know. But bullying, period, is no bueno. It's not good. Being ignorant by choice is not good. Kids, do not, and adults, do not feel like you have to hurt yourself over somebody else. Yes, words do hurt. Whoever came up with that little statement, sticks and stones may break my bones, words will never hurt me, is a motherfucking lie. Because words do hurt.
Words are more powerful than weapons, really.
The tongue is a powerful thing, baby.
Yeah, like words become things. You know, you put,
You're spitting that you're embedding that seed.
It said in the Bible, the tongue is sharper than any two-edged sword. That's a verse.
And then we turn around and do it to our children. Why you being so stupid? Why you being so slow? Why you throwing like a girl? Why you know what I'm saying? You doing it. You doing it. Now us, it built some thick skin, but our generation got a lot of mental health issues. We do. But it's not something we spoke about.
Right.
Well, yeah, we went through a lot.
I don't know, but a lot of our parents still led by example. So
yes.
They may have told you this, but you would see them go and live that same thing they told you.
Yeah.
And now a lot of parents, like, they'll say that stuff. You may see them go out and stay drunk all night.
Yeah.
And that's what I read about the...
do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, the Rittenhouse case he was talking about earlier. I just researched his parents, and they were drunks all the time. They would leave him home by himself a lot. They would argue all night, you know, and he told them he needed counseling. He told them he had problems, and they just overlooked it. And that's why they got in trouble. Like, that same day, they said they had...
Still bought that boy an AK or an AR or whatever, and he felt empowered wearing that shit. Oh, I'm a protector. What are you protecting?
Come to find out, he had a very bad home life.
Listen, a lot of us got very bad home lives. We didn't decide to go out and start shooting people.
Right.
But I'm a protector. What are you protecting?
That's a mental issue right there. Like,
facts.
You built in your mind like this godlike mentality, like you have the right to
take somebody else's life.
Or you want to change the course of the world.
And wasn't it over like a trash bag? Like the trash bag blew or something and he took it the wrong way or somebody threw... No, they tried to take his gun from him.
Oh, yeah.
That's another stupid thing. Don't run up and try to take nobody's weapon from them. Don't do that.
If you ain't trying to do that, you might want to go run and find cover.
Mind your business. Mind your business. Nobody deserves to die that way, though. Period. And they saw a young boy, so it's the perception of both sides. Now, I wasn't there, but I could see it from both sides to an extent. You see a young male with a weapon. Some old heads see that young man, they ain't gonna think, that little punk motherfucker, whoop, whoop, whoop. You know what I mean? Let's run up and take it.
Right.
The little boy, scared, and already got his finger on the trigger. What do you think is going to happen?
Popping off. Ask questions later.
He's scared. It's like, if you run up on me, I'm cutting you. Because now you done got too close. I got to protect myself. I'm 5'1". But that's...
Put your hand up and say, stop, sir. Do that first. Stop, sir.
Stop, sir.
I'm going to tell you again, sir.
I'll give a shit who you are.
Sir, please stop. Your hands. Stop. Sir, please stop. I have to use this. Sir, please.
But, I mean, it was a bad situation all the way around. But to me, the parents should have still been charged. You know what I mean? He should not have been there. Why did you drive this young man out of state, across state lines, to go protest something that didn't have nothing to do with you in the first place? You know what I mean? So the bullying, the teaching, the leading by example, words do hurt, but don't allow somebody to get into your head to a point to where it embeds that seed in bad roots. Does that make sense? Get help. Get help. Mental health needs to be cheaper or free.
Yeah.
That legislation got to change.
It needs to be more accessible.
That's critical.
Because they're preaching about these juvenile facilities and all of the juvenile laws or whatever. Well, your child is not technically a delinquent. He's just really unruly. So we're going to release him to you and not really the court system. And
even the school, by now you would think they would have qualified mental health consultants inside the school. And they don't. And I know personally with my own son that the school counselors really...
They got a resource officer.
Yeah, them counselors ain't got nothing.
A police officer at the school.
Yeah, even the counselors.
But not counselors.
They're really not... I don't know. It's just they're not equipped to deal with that.
You have one counselor when it comes down to 2,500 fucking students.
Yeah. So the counselors travel between schools now. Every school used to have a counselor.
Yeah, like their own.
Now, to save money, now they may have 3 within a whole county. And they travel as needed. It's like, you can't do that.
That's a lot on the counselor. Well, thank you for volunteering for that position because that would be a lot. That's just like teachers. It's a lot to be a teacher. And they don't get paid enough for some of this bullshit.
You don't.
The teacher, there's a teacher in the hospital right now that the little girl beat the hell out the teacher. Did you see that recently?
I didn't see that.
Like where?
It was one of the. It was in Georgia. A student beat the shit out of the teacher.
I saw that. Yeah.
A little girl beat the brakes off of her teacher. Glad she ain't bring no gun to school, but she beat the brakes off of the teacher. That part baffles the man because the teacher can't fight back. You know what I mean? So it's like the way the legislation is with the.
I had some shady teachers.
Just 3 days ago in Rockdale County.
I told you it didn't happen too long ago.
How old? How was it?
A 9th grader.
9th grade?
Yeah.
Beat the brakes off of her teacher.
Better.
They got on video and everything. Everything's videoed these days.
They started out arguing.
I'm not finna argue with no child. That's not. I'm shutting that conversation down. Ain't gonna be no arguing. I'm not. Because the more that you argue with somebody, adult or child, the more you're hyping them up. You know what I mean? Like it's the battle of I'm the teacher, I'm the adult, you're gonna listen, woo, 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 and that kid is just like, no. And now you don't know what that child has went through or been through or a home situation. And you're trying to both of y'all have to walk away at some point. And you as the adult should know it's time for me to walk away. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to argue with a child. This is what it is. I'm leaving the area. I'm not going to stand there and think that this child is some kind of punk ass kid. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. The numbers, 10% of teachers in 2020 reported that a student has threatened them with injury. Another 6% said the student had physically attacked them. That number may sound small, but think about how many students there are in Georgia.
Some of them teachers be fabricating the shit out of that, though.
10% of that is a lot.
Some of them teachers be fabricating. Yeah. I've seen it firsthand at my son's old school. Some of them teachers be.
My son at Paulding County High School, I said, I ain't gonna say no names, but because it was years ago when he graduated, he's in his 20s now. Mm-hmm. But he got rolled up for reckless eyeballing.
Reckless eyeballing?
Reckless eyeballing. And you know that's one of them laws from back in the
Let me see your water
back in the race days. Like reckless eyeballing, really?
Shavar's got a threat. Yeah, Shavar's got a threatening write up. They said he was trying to make gun noises.
And it was so crazy that gun noise.
Yeah.
But when I went and talked to the principal laughed. He said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Robinson." He was like, "I'm so sorry."
So what is that? What is
he rolled his eyes?
Basically, she said he was staring at her in a menacing way, like just eyeballing, like staring at her, like
she felt threatened because he was mean mugging her.
Yeah, or looking at her, or whatever. But
do you know how many times I stared at people and didn't know I was staring at them because I'm thinking about something else?
Right, zoned out.
I'm zoned out thinking about something totally like off the wall, like not even. I'm just like this. And I'm thinking about something.
I don't even think they did that to the principal. Apologized to me. Basically, he didn't want because he knew. You know, I'm on social media all the time. Like I would blew that up.
Reckless eyeballing.
Reckless eyeballing.
Teachers, let it help us out. Understand that reckless eyeballing part, because
I didn't even think that was a thing anymore.
But teachers are bullying kids too. Teachers bully kids.
Oh, I get it all the time.
I had that happen.
I'm in college, and my professor be trying to,
My brother in college, he said it happens to him. A teacher made him redo a whole test, like a series of tests, because she said he can do better. I'm like, can she do that? You passed. Like just.
Hey, I got semi-bullied from the 7th grade. Like, I'm not gonna mention the name, but it was a guy, and I got a 0 for not having a pencil or whatever it was. And I had one or something, but somebody else got whatever it was, and yeah, I got a 0
over not having a.
Yeah, and I actually had one, but I think I gave it to somebody or whatever it was. I mean, I was always prepared, so it was something legit. Like,
why didn't he have extra pencils?
And it was like, I got a 0 for that because they're trying to prove a point.
Yeah, they do.
And my dad was like, and he wrote a big old letter, went to print. I mean, like, it was a big thing.
Now, Vicky Lynn would have showed up in her booty shorts and no
really
bra.
Like, it's usually my mom that got involved. My dad was like, no.
They're trying to teach a lesson. They're just having my son.
It was like he pinpointed me and was like, you're going to get. So we went. I didn't even say no. We went because I was really upset about it. You know, that was my grades. And it was a hard subject, too, for me. This teacher was really hard. That's when I was like, so we went and he wrote like a big, long letter to the principal, whatever. So the teacher got in trouble for it. And he got me outside and was like, I can't believe you did that. And I can't believe you told
Stop
me.
trying to bully me.
Yeah, and I was like, don't give me a
But see, some of these kids ain't got mommy and daddy coming up to the school.
Exactly.
Some of these kids are going home and plotting against you and coming back and
that very well could have been me. I could have been like,
yeah,
okay. And we didn't have guns locked up. They were everywhere.
Exactly.
It was like, but I had common sense.
So you never know. You never know who you're bullying as a
and you
child,
don't know
child or,
even a child, anybody. You don't know people's trauma.
Yeah.
You know, once you trigger that trauma in somebody, you don't know the reaction that's going to come out.
And stop just tagging kids as bad kids. Then you're pushing them to become the bad kid.
Oh, we did. Like, I just posted a picture of, we went to that art show down in LaGrange, Georgia, right?
Oh, I seen that.
I put a picture of this kid, this jug he did. It looked a little satanic. It had this
It damn sure looked satanic.
But it was art. It was great.
I love that.
He was the only kid in the whole county that made it.
I did see that.
But I got a comment that said, this is not art, this is a work of Satan, and this is like, and I was about to, and she deleted, I know who it was, she deleted her comment. But the thought that I just posted this, and I specifically said, I thank you for being in the art community where weird people are accepted. For people that can do art like this.
You're not like,
you can come around us and you still gonna get love, so you don't, now you ain't got to go out there and keep making this kind of art, like that's your way of getting it out. Get it out your system.
But an adult decided to come out.
Went on my post and really went and like.
I knew that was going to happen.
What if that kid would have saw that? And it's crazy. Like this is not this. What this.
But you don't even know what the purpose of that piece of art from
like
that child.
From anime.
It did, but it looks satanic. It does. But
he's doing
again,
some art that's from
paganism is a real thing.
Yeah. So
you can't. That's one of them.
A lot of that stuff, when you look deeper into it, like the pentagram upside down, it represents the planets. Like, it gets really deep. It represents the planets.
Just walk up, boop.
Yeah.
Like, if you start like really researching what, instead of saying, "Oh my God,"
but the artist,
Satan's coming to get me.
I liked it because that child did.
I respect it. I mean, I'm not saying
I wouldn't put it in my house.
Hell no. No.
You know what I mean? But I was like, I was for the same reason you respect.
But it was very well done. It was very well done.
Even the museum went and posted. If you look at the comment, the museum went in the comments and posted different angles of it.
Yeah,
because they was proud of it too. They was like,
the child did a damn good job.
So that's what
I work with bones. I work with antlers. I work with horns.
Like if you put some stuff up, I guarantee you will get some of those similar comments.
Oh yeah, I know I would.
I guarantee.
And I know I make smudging wands out of antlers that I found, out of feathers that I found. All this stuff. People like
they would swear you were evil. They would swear you were evil.
Oh yeah.
This is not the Salem
and I
witch trials.
No, it don't make no difference to me. I'm like, you believe what you want. It don't make no difference to me.
But that's
I go by your.
That is bullying.
That's why that's bullying right there.
You got people trolling.
Commenting on my post like I was about to just go in.
I know you would, and if I would have saw it, I would have tagged right on there with you.
Well, like tarot cards, people think that's just Satan. I'm like, no. Look at the deeper meaning instead of what you just told.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm serious.
Man, and encourage him to keep doing art. Like, man, you do this is wonderful. Like, you got skill. This man will be making your dishes. You'll be going to Pottery Barn about it. You won't even know.
Yeah.
Like, that's what these kids will do. They'll be the next kids making pot, pan.
Well, like, the reverse pentagram.
Faces.
Research it. It's actually a protection symbol. like really not just what you're told or what your preacher said. Research it. Like literally get into it.
And we're not saying go buy the piece. No. You know what I mean? Like it's in a museum.
Right.
It's literally a young child that did their pottery exhibit, and it's at a museum. Like,
and it did its job because that's what art is supposed to open up those discussions. Art creates that dialogue. So now you can ask questions. You can figure out. Like you said, the history behind this, what it means.
What was the purpose? Like, what made you want to do this?
Well, just like Hitler. That's not. He took a symbol, an old symbol.
Fuck Hitler.
And turned it around to be something that's so bad. When you look at the true meaning of that, Native Americans, it had nothing to do with it. But he turned it into. But that's what I'm saying. Now everybody's like, that's a bad, and I'm like, go deeper than that. What that stupid ass did.
And it's really just a symbol.
No, it's
you better not let me catch you with a swastika.
The Native American, it symbolizes like the wind. It symbolizes direction. It symbolizes so much more. It's actually a good symbol, but he turned it into something totally warped.
And it is very warped.
It's extremely warped.
So, don't let me catch you with no swastika around me.
I mean, it's a Native American thing.
You may see it in some other cultures, but it has a different meaning.
Yeah, it's a totally.
But I'm going to ask.
Yeah.
And what you got there for?
Yeah, I mean, and you got some people that don't. They're like, oh, I don't think it's look beyond what you're told. I mean,
but a lot of people do certain things because they want some type of attention, whether it be negative or positive.
Yeah, because it's still attention.
They'll do the swastika or they'll do the.
Some people get the negative attention. They get a hit of dopamine in their brain, a reaction, and that's why a lot of people, narcissism, all that stuff. Bullying, you get a hit of dopamine. That makes you feel. That's the happy hormone that goes to your brain.
Go work out.
It gives you. I'm saying when you start doing the brain, and it's like it gives you a hit, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah,
it gives you that hit of dopamine, like that. When you do something good, it's the happy gene, or like that happy, joy. Yeah,
go smoke a blunt.
I mean, really,
not a laced blunt, a real blunt, like from the earth, actual. Weed, not no shit that you need extra chemicals to be a part of. Get some Reggie. How about that?
But I knew when you posted that, I was like, "Here we go."
I saw it, but I was like, it is what it is. But people are bullying children. You know what I mean?
That's a child. That's somebody's child.
Well, like tarot cards, people just automatically.
Yeah, I used to think that.
The whole time we're doing a bullying conversation.
And you got angel oracle cards. You even got cards.
Both of y'all, it's on video. Both of y'all got the bat on y'all shoulder looking like, what's the little girl from DC? Joker?
Harley Quinn.
You over there look like Harley Quinn with the bat on your shoulder.
Yeah, I'm like this. I'm ready to swing.
This is literally the 1998 Braves bat.
I love it.
When we went to the championship.
And you have angel oracle cards.
Yeah.
And you work with the angels. It's a literal, and it's not. Like I said, if you just look beyond what you're told, that goes for anything. You'll be amazed. Learn about it. Research it.
Watch what you're told. Your Divine Feminine podcast.
Yeah, harnessing your
divine. For them because that's who.
You find all different outlooks.
Yeah, they helped me because I was scared of that. I was scared. Even now, I don't want nobody to read me. Don't tell me nothing.
Yeah, no.
And that's like as a psychic or as an energy worker, the moral code is not to go around just reading people.
Right.
And that's why I stay blocked off a lot because I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I don't have time for your petty relationship questions. You know what I mean? I just don't. It makes me ill, to be honest with you. Because
what is the initials of the person that'll fall in love with me?
And I know that sounds terrible. There are psychics out there that will help you, but no.
Not that.
It drives me nuts. But anyway, there's a moral code not to do that.
Oh, okay.
Like people just don't go around scanning you and reading you. Like I don't, because I don't want to know.
Yeah.
3 weeks from now, you're gonna fall off a cliff.
You see what I'm saying? Like
you're gonna die tomorrow at 11:59 and 39 seconds.
Yeah, let's let me do it. How about that? Just let me die tomorrow at 11:59.
Well, that's why her podcast is so good because it kind of breaks that diversity. Like it's a lot of diverse.
Mm-hmm. And we got some
topics.
Some topics coming up too, where they talk about everything.
I
like that.
And it's really interesting. It kind of helps people understand. Like, no, this isn't evil. It's not a bad thing.
Skeletons and spooks and
it does open up your mind. There's a lot more to it than what you're just told.
But stop bullying.
I know.
Stop bullying. Teachers, Stop bullying your students.
There is certain things that I carry, like when I do energy work, I go to somebody's house, I carry a little suitcase and I got my stuff in it. And there was one thing I said, I better not get this out because it's very charged. When I say charged, that means it's set somewhere and it's got all my energy in it. Right? And it's a horn. It's a springbok horn from Africa. Like I ordered them.
That would be questionable.
And I put a big quartz in it. And it looks like wicked as crap, but it's very, very charged.
Okay.
And I thought, somebody's mother was standing around. I thought, I better not get this out. I mean, just out of respect, because I was like, this might look like I'm doing some kind of weird, but it's just energy. It's all it was, you know. And I thought, out of respect, I was like, I'm not gonna get this out today.
Yeah, not today, because I don't know.
But I mean, what it does is I'll scan over the body, and it's a very charged thing. It's a very charged item. Like my medicine bag, it's extremely charged. I keep it inside my little altar thing. Andrew put it on the other day, and she was spinning. She was going, whoo! And we forgot that she had it on, and we were trying to help heal her mouth.
Yeah.
And she was just like, I'm so dizzy. I mean, like, everything was spinning, and we figured out, like, I said, I told you it was charged.
Listen, believe what you believe in, do what you do. Don't knock somebody for, unless they're actually chopping up body parts or something like, don't judge. Don't bully. Don't be ignorant. And then also don't be surprised when you get your ass whooped by a student. You know what I mean? Like, it can go both ways. You never know what a child is going through at home. They might not have that loving support. Their getaway might be the school. But also children, there's no excuse. You know what I mean? If you need somebody to talk to, go talk to them. But
violence isn't always, it's not the
don't
answer.
do the violence.
Communication is key.
Yeah.
A lot of kids, like, I can get down on a kid's level. I can see where you're at, and I'm like, okay. And I'll jive with it, and I'll talk on their lingo and get down on their level, and they feel comfortable with it.
And there's a lot of good teachers that can do that.
That will jive with you, and you're like, okay, I feel safe.
You remember Miss Blackburn, though? She was mean as shit. Miss Blackburn was mean as shit.
She played that little, whatever it was.
Ukulele thing.
She get down that thing. I mean, it's like,
but
she turned into a...
But she was one of them, do as I say because I said so, and that's that on that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That was, be that teacher. But you don't have to argue with a child.
No. There's ways around it, like get on their lingo, talk to them, and they'll feel comfortable and safe. And they'll let you in.
And walk away when you need to walk away. But that 6-year-old that shot that teacher, that's a whole different. She tried to tell the school how uncomfortable she felt about this child. You have some teachers that like to fabricate. You have some teachers that really are fearing for their life. You know what I mean? So
well, it all needs to be taken seriously one way or another.
Exactly. Kids and adults on social media, you got trolls out there that's going to do it for GP because they want the rise out of it. You know what I mean? Block them, delete them. Don't argue with them and say, you got it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to respond at all or whatever, or delete them, block them, do whatever you got to do.
Yeah, the internet's something else.
But don't allow somebody to get up under your skin to a point to where you feel worthless.
Yeah, I got called a colonist or something. I couldn't help but laugh. I was like, do what now? I got tickled. I was like, okay.
Oh my God. That is a term though.
I was like, okay.
That is a term. That is a term. That is a term. I'd be like, I mean,
I just kind of laughed. I was like, whatever, dude.
It is what it is.
Look, I didn't have time for it. I went, okay.
I immigrated. I'm sorry. But it is what it is. You know, just be nice to people. Be courteous to people. Ask the proper questions if you are curious. Don't be a smart ass. You can judge, but judge on your own type. You know what I mean? Don't argue with children. Children, stop doing shit to these grown folks, man. Like, it really, we don't know the history behind every situation. We only know what the news media puts out there. But some of these kids, they act out and they act a fool and they knuck a few bucks because of it may have led up to that situation. You never know. So stop being so judgmental. But parents, if you don't put your weapons up and your child gets a hold to it and goes around the corner and shoots somebody else or goes to the school and shoots somebody, that was a targeted hit too from a 6-year-old. That was a very intelligent 6-year-old.
Damn.
But obviously he has some deep-rooted issues going on. Yes, I do believe parents should be charged if you were neglective and having your weapon just laying around for your child to be able to get a hold to it, period, point blank. Anything else about bullying?
I think we pretty much covered it.
Live your life. Fuck everybody else. Be happy. Be true. Be you. Till next time.
Be sure to log on to youtube.com and subscribe to the HERshyt Show at TheRShytShow.